Good morning and welcome. Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home or you are seeking comfort and connection in uncertain times, we are grateful you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community seeking truth and love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us matters, and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. There are many links of connection in the comments section, including credits for the readings, to virtual religious education, for donations, and to be added to our newsletter email list. A few announcements this morning. The all-church Zoom meeting will be on Wednesday at 5:30, and we will send a reminder email in the early afternoon with the link. We'll hold a virtual coffee and conversation after the service until 1 p.m. on Zoom, and you can find that link in the comments below or from the newsletter. We're going to try and break out a room for families with young children today, so I hope you're out there, and I'll see you in the breakout room. Also at 2 p.m. is our Intro to UU class. You're still welcome to join us, even if you haven't signed up. Next Sunday is Bike the Ridge. Check the newsletter for more details. And now I invite you to get your chalices ready, gather your bowl of water and a stone for our water communion, your backpack or work bag or your electronic device, and set a place for yourself and your family as we join in beloved community.
Greetings, Unitarian Universalists. I'm Susan Frederick Gray, president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. This is the season of Ingathering, a time when we celebrate the beginning of another congregational year, another year of ministry, another year of holidays and holy days. Across our association, hundreds of congregations and tens of thousands of Unitarian Universalists mark this time with special celebrations, coming together to remember the life-saving, life-affirming value of our religious communities. We are living in heartbreaking, precarious times. There is so much grief to hold and so much injustice to withstand and resist. If you are struggling right now, feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or depressed, I can tell you, you are not alone. It's times like these when we most need to reach out for help to one another and in community. Times like these when we need practices and opportunities to remind us that we are not alone, to bring to the altar of life all that we hold in our hearts, and to feel the support of beloved community, which is a continual source of courage and resilience. Ingathering celebrations are particularly important because they remind us of our fundamental connectedness. It's so easy to feel isolated and alone right now. It matters that we take time to just pause, to breathe and feel the ways that we are fundamentally linked to each other, even across this virtual space. How we are fundamentally linked to humanity and to this earth. Part of the lesson of this time is to live more fully into the interdependence that is at the heart of our values. Two things I've said from the beginning of my time as presidency are, number one, this is no time for a casual faith and no time for a casual commitment to what you value most. And number two, this is no time to go it alone. And these words, this challenge, they continue to be true today. No matter the distance or how we gather, We are connected by unseen but real threads of care and intention, of the hopes we have for one another in this world. We are connected by our commitment to love and justice, and we are connected as Unitarian Universalists. There really is no script for this time, and yet our fundamental values haven't changed. We affirm the inherent worth and dignity of all people, and we will not let up in our work for justice. Our commitment to equity and compassion in all things, our willingness to learn and grow, our honoring of the interdependence of all creation, these values endure, and they guide our way always. I am so grateful for the ways that you are caring for one another and the well-being of your community. May you also make time to care for your own well-being, to nurture and tend to the goodness that is in you. And as we all celebrate this time of ingathering, may we feel the strength, the love, the connection and presence of our wider UU community. For it is holding you, it is holding me, it is holding all of us. Friends, I send you my love, my blessings. I pray for you and your loved ones and your community. Take good care of one another. Blessed be, and amen.
We light our chalice in northern Illinois, on the traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Menominee, Ho-Chunk, Sac, and Fox, also call this area home. We name these in honor and respect. Our chalice lighting words are by Reverend Lisa Doge, a Unitarian Universalist minister who has served congregations in Texas and Indiana and is currently the minister of Nora UU Church in Hanska, Minnesota. Please join me in reading the words on your screen as Griffin, Reed, and Sue light our chalice. Why a flaming chalice? The question comes. It's the cup of life, we answer. A cup of blessings overflowing. A cup of water to quench our spirit's thirst. A cup of wine for celebration and dedication. The flame of truth, the fire of purification, oil for anointing, healing. Out of chaos, fear, and horror, thus was the symbol crafted a generation ago. So may it be for us in these days of uncertainty, sorrow, and rage, and a light to welcome our souls and guide us home.
Please join me in the saying of the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
A year ago, Karen and I stood before the congregation in the pulpit together for the first time to share with you our covenant of ministry. This year, we are reconstituting that covenant to include Reverend Susan Francis. The three of us are your ministerial team for this year. And so we renew our covenant to serve this congregation with empathy, integrity, care, and mutual respect.
Eileen and Susan, as your colleague in ministry, I promise to continue to honor and respect your history with this congregation and take seriously my responsibility to communicate clearly with you, the staff, and the congregation my observations and recommendations. I will continue my attention to the task of interim ministry as you attend to the ongoing ministry of the congregation. I promise to stay in conversation with you as we address the complexity of the work before us.
Susan and Karen, as the acting senior minister, I promise my support of the interim and search process to honor and value the breadth and creativity, experience, and wisdom you each bring. I promise to clearly, honestly, and kindly communicate in ways that are helpful in our shared commitment to our mission. I promise to hold the well-being of the congregation in balance and in covenant with your well-being and my own.
Eileen and Karen, as your colleague in ministry, I promise to communicate with honesty and respect and to bring my full self to our collaborations. I promise to support the interim and search process and to honor the history each of you has with the congregation.
To you, the members of and friends of UCE,
we promise to remain clear about our individual shared responsibilities.
We promise to be honest and respectful as we listen to your thoughts, ideas, and feelings.
We promise to communicate as fully as we are able.
We promise to foster collaborative, courageous, honest, and productive conversation between us and among you.
We promise to hold these commitments in company with our service to the larger movement of Unitarian Universalism.
And we promise to engage in this work with lightness of touch and a spirit of joyful service.
And now I invite you to hold your backpack or whatever it is that you carry the important things of your life in, or your electronic device for this blessing and prayer. Spirit of life, it has been an unusual year that has many of us feeling scared, uncertain, sad, stressed, and worried. Each day brings changes and challenges that we may feel unprepared for, leaving us to feel unsure of ourselves and our world. And yet we find some comfort knowing that others we love and care for are feeling this too. We are not alone. Spirit of love, be with us all as we embark on a new journey this year. For those who are beginning a school year, whether their learning is in a school building, on a campus, or at home. Be with those whose hearts break for the backpacks not taken up. Be with those who are embarking on a new career or starting a new job. Let us appreciate the wonder for the ways we are invisibly connected through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cell phones. Let us remember that it isn't our devices that have the most value, but the connections that sustain us through their use that does. Spirit of life and love, may we have the courage to embrace the future with grace despite its uncertainties. May we remember that we are loved even when things are at their worst, even when we cannot see or touch those who are dear to us, even when we feel alone. May we be compassionate to others and do what is needed to keep all people safe and healthy. May we find respite in nature and cherish our beautiful planet Earth and all it provides us. Bless our backpacks and bags and electronic devices, our bodies and minds, our friends and family. Let the flame and light of our chalice stickers remind us that we have our principles to guide us and the light of love within us. Amen and blessed be.
These are the joys and sorrows that have been submitted through the Google form found on the homepage of our website. Alternatively, you can send us an email. So these are the joys and sorrows that have been shared ahead of time from Kristen Larson and Craig Spidell. Good morning, friends. I am happy to share Craig and I are with you today, lying in his bed watching the service. We are calling it Snuggle Sunday. Craig continues to do well in rehab, and his new discharge date is Tuesday, September 29th. This from Liz Goodwin. Got to spend my birthday week by seeing all my children and my grandbabies this weekend. The Labor Day party didn't happen this year, but my weekend was full of love, family, and friends. We miss you all. A concern, a good luck to my friend Kathy Talmadge as she undergoes her surgery tomorrow. Her spirits are high and we hold her health in our hearts. Dale Griffin shares the joy that his granddaughter Abigail was born in New Zealand this week. Marlene MacArthur shares gratitude that her daughter Leah is recovering from COVID-19. From Janet Lipner, I am greatly alarmed and saddened by the fires and destruction of the Western states, people, animal, forests, and property. And from Jenny Walsh, my brother is a fire captain in Portland, Oregon, and is on a special assignment working with FEMA in Washington, holding him and many in our hearts for a safe end of the destruction. And a sorrow from Jack Geringer. On the morning of Saturday, September 1st, 2020, we said goodbye to our beloved Italian greyhound, Bella, the first doggie in our family who was compassionately assisted into the next life. And from Eileen and Karen and Susan, as sadness that Reverend David Petit, who served our association as the director of ministerial credentialing, died peacefully early this morning, surrounded by loved ones. He was a minister to ministers and a faithful and loving man. Our movement has lost a treasured leader. And from Luann Vanderpool, I am mourning the death of my only brother, who died Thursday evening, too young. He would have been 75 in November. I had not seen him since last December, but expected to see him next month. He lived in Ohio. We know that these are not the only joys and sorrows that are on our hearts. Let's take a moment of quiet now to read to ourselves the joys and sorrows that have been added to the chat. We hold these together in care and tenderness. And I invite you to say aloud the names of those who you are holding in your hearts, those who are sick or who have died, as we let their names gather on the wind to be held in this community that knows no walls. We hold these as well as the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken. Together, we share our celebration and lessen the burden of our grief. I invite you now into a spirit of prayer and meditation. As we find our way once again into this new way of being community, we call upon the ever-present Spirit brought into being by the power of our shared intentions. As you hear them named, I invite you to claim your connection to the greater intention. It is the spirit of this church that nourishes and challenges us all. Today, on the cusp of autumn, we call forth the intention to be our best selves and to call out the best in one another. even as the light fades. Today, in the shadow of sickness and loss, we call forth the intention of compassion and attention to the needs of the grieving. Today, as we struggle for equity and understanding looming large in our nation and in our world, we call forth the intention to dismantle systems of oppression wherever they exist. Today, as we join across virtual space with singing and performing the rituals of our shared tradition, may we be reminded that what we create together strengthens us all to move from intention to commitment and action. So may it be.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul.
UCE remains a vital part of the world and our community. And because we continue to need one another in the blessings of community, we take this time to invite you to give to our shared plate. Today's offering will be shared with Shorefront Legacy Center. Shorefront is an archive of the history of Black people in Evanston, compiled and interpreted through the eyes of the Black community. Please read about them by going to the link in the Show More section. You can text to give, send in a check, or give from our website. If you send in a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering, your pledge, capital campaign, or some other giving. Please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy. Our reading this morning is Surface Tension by Reverend Tess Bomberger. Reverend Bomberger is a Unitarian Universalist minister who has served congregations in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and is currently serving as a hospice chaplain.
Of course, there are people behaving badly during this pandemic, using it as an excuse to practice prejudice, to hoard, to blame.
Using it to divide and weaken us, cashing in on our surface tensions for their own terrible benefit. The news daily shows these heavy things.
In nature, surface tension gathers water molecules together so tightly that they form a sort of membrane across which light things can dance.
Leaves, insects, the wavering sun. It is why rain falls in discrete drops and babies can blow bubbles. Surface tension makes life possible.
It helps drops collect along subtle edges of pine needles or leaves run down to water roots, then helps sap
rise to nurture those same gatherers of sun and water.
Bitter tannins in chartreuse mosses increase the tension so larger drops can form, held aloft by their fragile villi until they can be absorbed or used to foster new life.
Here's the other picture revealed by this pandemic.
People are reaching out in kindness and concern to acquaintances, neighbors, strangers, creating aquifers, revealing watersheds running
through the tiny capillaries of human hearts,
minds,
homes,
streets, and neighborhoods.
Could the bitter tannins cause such large drops to form that we can scarcely hold them until they can be absorbed?
Until we can use them to foster life?
Let us open ourselves wide to gather them, so we may send them to the suffering, the grieving,
the caregivers, and all the workers who were always essential. Let us send them across all those spurious divisions.
Because there is a deeper, humbler, more beautiful truth. We deeply need one another, especially now.
We can pull together across distances to form a surface
across which light things can dance and which can nurture life.
This is a moment that you are invited to contribute to a shared digital experience. If you can, go to the website www.menti.com on your phone, on your computer or iPad, any device that you are able to. and enter the code that you see on the screen. I believe that the code is 13264. If you don't need to sign up for anything or create a password. Just go to menti.com and enter that number. And I think the number is also in the chat, 1365064. And what I would like you to do, you'll see 3 boxes that come up. And you can add one-word responses. What we're looking for is answers to the question, what refreshes your spirit? So enter 3 one-word responses to the question, what refreshes your spirit? And see what happens. And if you don't have access to any of those devices or can't figure it out, you could add your things to the chat, which I see some people doing. Yeah. These are our collective spirits being refreshed, finding renewal, being nurtured so that we can reflect that back to a world and make it whole. Just as a reminder, we need one-word answers. I do appreciate all of the wonderful phrases that people are adding. Sunshine, nature, love. Thank you for participating, friends. May we continue to be refreshed and renewed. And may we turn that renewal into a renewal of our world. Dear ones, time has not made it easier to be apart. I may not be speaking for everyone, but I continue to feel the longing for closeness and connection. I miss being in one another's presence. 11 days ago, a few dozen of us were able to come to the UCE parking lot to celebrate the work being done at 1330. I hear from folks and can relate to the weariness, the not knowing when or how or if this way of being apart will end. In this weariness, we must continually look for ways to renew our spirits. Like a droplet of water on the parched ground where a green shoot emerges, we must find small joys to sustain our sense of possibility and our will to keep moving forward. Have you ever seen those little magic growing capsules that you add a bit of water to, or you drop into a bowl of water and they expand into a dinosaur or some other funny shaped sponge that your kids can play with in the bathtub? The little joys we manage to find in nature, through the earth, watching birds digging in the dirt, walking or biking or singing or breathing together, crying, as somebody mentioned in the chat. These are little doses of renewing magic. We must search for them and cherish them when we find them. Let them refresh us and renew us to reconstitute us. Just as water diffuses to fill a space, a small amount of connection, joy, hope can spread out and fill the space. It can spread into new possibilities. If you came to the parking lot blessing on the 2nd, you received a goodie bag. Or you might have been able to stop by church this past week to pick one up. If not, it is okay. Our water communion ritual is symbolic. Just like all those that would come to church and forget to bring their water, we used water that was there. It is symbolic. Symbols matter, but we get to attach whatever meaning that we choose to our symbols. So if you have your goodie bag, inside there was a little vial of water. And this is water from our water communions past. So if you have one of those, I invite you to open it up and spill it into your bowl or your glass of water in front of you. If you don't have that vial, know that we are all connected to water. We are made of water. The water being poured from those little vials of our water communion water are connected to the water in your sink and in the ocean and in your body and in my body and everyone's body. As you pour water into the bowl, know that it is blessed and is a blessing to all of us. Let us thank the water, the life that is provided for time beyond time, stretching back and reaching forward farther than we can imagine. Thank you, water, for your cleansing, purifying, restoring power. Now look in your goodie bag, and if you have one, for a stone, or hopefully you found a stone at home. You may have a rock you collected from somewhere that you've been, from the beach or on a walk or at a park. Maybe there's a rock that sits on a shelf or in a dish somewhere where you live or in your yard. If you don't have a stone or a rock, maybe you can find near you some bit of earth, some piece of pottery or a pine cone or a shell. And if that doesn't work, consider your own hands, for you are also of the earth. Please hold in your hand that stone, that piece of earth. And even if you don't have that, hold your hands together. Or hold the hand of someone near you. Feel the energy of that earth in your hand. Feel the sorrow and struggle and beauty and joy and power in that stone, in that earth that is older than we can possibly imagine, in that hand that holds more love than we can possibly know, in the world which is bigger beyond all of us. Infuse that stone in your hand, or that earth, with all that pain that you know, all the loss you feel, all the fear and worry, the uncertainty, the anger. Hold it there. Let the earth in your hands absorb all of this. And now, friends, drop your stone and place it in the water. Grounding the earth that it represents into that cleansing, purifying water. And if your hands are empty, dip them into the water. Let your hands be cleansed. Let the stone or the other piece of earth be purified. Let all the pain, the hurt, troubling energy be diffused and released into the water. May our spirits be restored. May our oneness with the earth and the water reconstitute us. Now, this stone is purified, and your hands are cleansed of negative energy. As you dry your hands, or when you retrieve your stone or other piece of earth from the bowl after our service, know that you can leave this energy in the water. The water that will be washed away down the drain or absorbed into your plants. May you use your stone or other piece of earth whenever you need to feel the connection to this community, to the community of all humanity, and the connection to the healing power of the earth. You may use this symbol to pour your pain into and release it when you need. May we be renewed in our commitment to healing the world in our small yet significant ways. May we be well. May we be whole. May we expand love. Amen.
Our chalice extinguishing words are by Audre Lorde, who, prior to her death in 1992, described herself as Black, lesbian, mother, warrior, poet. She dedicated her creative talent to confronting and addressing injustice. Please join me in reading the words on your screen as Griffin, Reed, and Sue extinguish our chalice. And I dream of our coming together, encircled, driven, not only by love, but by lust for a working tomorrow. The flights of this journey, mapless, uncertain, and necessary as water.
Still
May our spirits be renewed. May we share our refreshed souls with each other and with the earth and all beings. Let us move out into the world thirsting for repair and reconstitute it with love. Go in peace, friends.